Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is now coming to an end with our final fighter Sora finally being announced. It's been insane seeing so many faces come together, and Sora seems like a great character to end us on. Unfortunately for me, the character doesn't release for like 2 whole weeks, so the DLC video is going to have to wait, so instead we're going to be ranking all of the trailers that came with each Ultimate newcomer. While the Smash 4 trailers were pretty good, Ultimate's trailers were given that extra push to really celebrate each newcomer's inclusion to the game. There were a total of 23 newcomers in Ultimate if you include Echoes, and since some of them had the same trailer, that means we're going to be ranking 21 trailers today. These will all be ranked by, of course, how hype and exciting they were, as that's what a trailer is supposed to make you feel. So what factors go into a good trailer? Well, one important thing is of course who they're announcing, as some characters are simply easier to be more exciting than others. Music is also very important, as a fast-paced song is much more likely to get excitement than a slower choice. Many of the Ultimate trailers were CG, so the animation itself will also play a big part. Finally, the context behind when and where the trailer was released also matters. You'll see what I mean by this later, as there are quite a few times this comes into play in the ranking. Also, since this is only for newcomers, I won't be including the Everyone Is Here trailer, but just know that that would be my number one choice, even without any CG animation. Unfortunately though, it takes me quite a long time to make these videos, so within that time at least 2 other YouTubers have already made videos similar to this. However, I promise that this video will be worth watching anyways, because my opinion is always correct. With all of that out of the way, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy, but let's get right into ranking all newcomer trailers for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. First off is a trailer that doesn't really count, but it also sort of does, so to avoid any annoying comments, I'm including it. That of course being the Arms and Smash trailer. No, this is not the actual Min trailer, this is the one that just announced Arms would be coming to Smash Ultimate in some way. To get the obvious out of the way, no fighter was actually announced here, putting it at an obvious disadvantage compared to the other 20. On top of that, Arms isn't really a beloved franchise. In fact, opinions are pretty mixed on the game, so this announcement didn't really get people excited, it just sort of lowered their expectations. It didn't make speculation interesting, as most people didn't really care which Arms character got in. Had this been a different franchise like say Sonic or Zelda, it might have worked better, though I'm certainly not asking for another trailer in this vein. The pacing was also really bad here. I mean, they just kind of jumped into it with no sort of build-up whatsoever. So yes, this is just a technicality, but this is easily the worst newcomer trailer Ultimate had. Again, if you even consider it to be one. Alright, you all knew this would be very low on the list. Byleth's trailer is absolutely awful, in almost every single way. You know what, let's start with the one aspect of the trailer that I thought worked well, the music. It fits well for the trailer, but to be fair, the music is pretty much the only thing I liked about Byleth's pack as a whole anyway. Now let's look past the character itself being Byleth. Everyone knows that Fire Emblem has too many characters and that Byleth was not an exciting or even shocking character to add in. Even then, they still could have made this trailer at least decent, but this trailer's pacing is atrocious. From the first few seconds of the trailer, you already know that the character is Byleth. The trailer is animated to be in the world of 3 houses, which is fine, but it stays here for way too long. Then they act like the Smash invitation is such a surprise, only over a minute after we already knew Byleth was coming as the next character. That meant people had to sit for a long time waiting for the trailer to get to the point, and even then, they get the splash screen and have to wait for this dork to finish talking about Fire Emblem nonsense for like 20 seconds before we actually get to see the gameplay. The gameplay also only lasts for a short bit of time before cutting back to the 3 houses gameplay footage where Sothis rants about all the different types of weapons they use before giving female Byleth her own splash for whatever reason. This trailer was simply just way too long. The character wasn't very exciting, and on top of that, the animation doesn't even look great since it's supposed to look like 3 houses. This just did not make Byleth look exciting and made anyone who already was not on board against their inclusion even more. Now this is the first trailer where its context is also very important as to why it did not work. I said before that we knew that Byleth was a Smash character from the opening 5 seconds, but how did we even know that this trailer was for Smash at all? Well, that's because this was of course announced to be the trailer for the last Smash Ultimate DLC beforehand, meaning that there was really nothing else this could have been. Had this been placed into just a normal direct, then the opening minute or so could have been forgiven, as people might have just thought it was 3 Houses DLC before the reveal that surprise, it was actually Smash. I'd rather not have a trailer be this long anyway, and this doesn't fix the middle parts, but having this in a regular direct would have been the best possible option. Looking at Pyra's trailer as an example, it's set up very similarly, a long journey through their own world before the reveal that it was about Smash the whole time. Since that trailer was in a normal direct, that opening was much more tolerable as it let us question as to what it actually was. Personally, I think Byleth's trailer may have been planned for the Game Awards but was delayed because this trailer absolutely does not work on its own. So that's why this trailer is pretty much unanimously seen as the worst, or at least one of the worst Smash Ultimate Newcomer trailers. Oh, and also this final shot, it's just terrible. Okay, that one took quite a while, so let's look at a quick one, that being Daisy. This hardly counts as a trailer, but I thought I should include it anyway. Daisy was the first Echo Fighter, and since she was used to introduce the concept, I guess it makes sense that she didn't really get this huge trailer. As a result though, it's obviously not very exciting. Oh, also can we just comment on how they completely lied during this trailer? Like, Peach and Daisy's moves all act exactly the same. Damage output and speed is the same across the board, so I don't know what they were talking about here. Now, I'm sure you all might be asking, why on earth is this higher than Byleth? I mean, they actually got an animated trailer. Well, it's because this one gets to the point. I mean, I'd rather watch a small surprise for a trailer for 30 seconds than a boring trailer for nearly 4 minutes. Some people may disagree, but I think Daisy's trailer did its job decently enough to place it at least a little bit above Byleth. In a similar vein, we have the trailer for Chrom and Dark Samus. Like Daisy, they didn't have a CG animation, however their trailer certainly had at least a little bit more excitement behind it. These two are also Echo Fighters, meaning their inclusion was predictable, so a huge trailer wasn't really needed. It was still nice to have some actual gameplay shown off for each character alongside music, unlike Daisy. That Brinstar Depths remix is an absolute banger, definitely one of my favorite themes used in these. One last minor thing is that I really liked how it wasn't clear who Chrom was echoing, so it was fun trying to figure out who it was. So this trailer is certainly a step up from Daisy, but without any real CG animation or shocking reveal, I can't really place this much higher. Alright, back to the real trailers, we have the Pyra and Mythra reveal. For starters, these characters aren't really that exciting, especially since Xenoblade already has a rep and the franchise isn't that popular. But looking past that aspect, what does this trailer do well? Compared to the last trailers, this animation is certainly the best so far. The introduction of Mythra was also done much better than the intro to female Byleth, so I'll give it credit there as well. It just fit more smoothly into the whole trailer and it didn't really feel out of place. The music fits the trailer as well, before and after the characters themselves were revealed. So, why is it so low? Well, much like Byleth, this takes forever to get to the point. Now yes, this wasn't a normal direct, meaning that there was no way to tell right away that this was Smash Bros. If this was placed in a Smash Direct, it would have been much worse. Still though, this is one of the least rewatchable trailers just due to that long 2-minute opening of Rex looking for Pyra. I feel like making the start that long was just way too tedious and it could have been shortened a bit. Another personal thing I don't like about this trailer is that the characters will not shut up. I hate the trope of some of the anime characters in Smash where they feel the need to say the name of every single attack they do every single time they do it, and that annoyance carries over to this trailer. On top of that, Rex is just super annoying throughout it the entire time.
What? I thought I was gonna be in Smash. You powered up your Smash attack with fire!
If they had cut the dialogue for most of the trailer, aside from the CG parts of course, then this would have been much more bearable. But the nail in the coffin for me was that last line when they face Shulk.
Ooh, fighting words. You forget. We're fighters too!
This line genuinely hurts my soul. It's such a, for lack of a better term, cringe response. This is the only time I really cringed in a Smash trailer, so for that, I can't place it higher than 17th. If this were a tier list, this is where the mid-tier trailers would begin in my opinion. Again, most of the trailers are really good, so this ranking is all relative. With that said, let's get into what I believe to be one of my most controversial placings, Kazuya's trailer. Again, starting with what I think was good, the CGI bits of the trailer were absolutely perfect. Having Kazuya toss several members of the Smash roster into a volcano is not only an excellent reference to his home series Tekken, but also a great way to integrate Kazuya into the world of Smash Bros. That's what puts this trailer above the ones we already mentioned, just due to how fun that is, but what makes it so far below some of the others later on? Well, for starters, the pacing on this one felt really wonky at times. Like, there was no impact behind Kazuya's splash screen because it just went by way too fast. The Tekken announcer also doesn't help as it just makes it feel more cramped and squeezed in, like take a listen. I think they should have spaced out the text, announcer, and fade to black a little bit better, as the way it is now, it just doesn't feel that satisfying. The biggest issue with the trailer though is with the music. This track is just way too quiet and slow. It made the reveal super unexciting, coming from someone who hasn't played Tekken. It didn't do a good job building up the hype, so it just made the reveal feel more bland. Now, I do understand why they chose this theme. I mean, it's literally Kazuya Mishima's theme, but it just doesn't work for a trailer. Not calling the song bad, it's just a bit low on energy. The remix, however, is absolutely perfect, and thus the second half of the trailer is really good, aside from, again, this sort of weird transition editing. Had they used this song from the start, I think this would have moved up a few spots. I know they wanted the remix to coincide with the devil mechanic, but it just brought the whole trailer down. To end on a positive note though, Kazuya dropping Kirby into the volcano by one hand only to have him fly right back up is pretty funny, probably one of my favorite comedic bits in any of these trailers. Now we have the trailer for my favorite character from the first DLC pack, Hero. When he was first announced, I audibly groaned. I was not happy with this reveal at all. Luckily, the character is a ton of fun to play as, but that just means the trailer did not do a good job advertising this guy. Everything about it just sort of feels bland, the music is just okay and the CGI is decent but nothing stands out. I do like how they revealed all the heroes separately, but it just wasn't enough to save this trailer. The editing on this trailer was also sort of weird, though they couldn't really do much about it. The slow zoom in on the command selection feels super out of place for a trailer, but again, I can't really think of a better way for them to do this. So in short, this trailer is pretty much the blandest of the group. Nothing especially good, but nothing horribly bad either. Moving back to the second pass, we have Min Min's actual trailer. While knowing the character was going to be from ARMS did diminish the hype a little bit, overall it wasn't much of a problem. This trailer is styled very similarly to Terry's, where a bunch of the characters come together to fight over who gets the invitation to join Smash, which seems fitting for a fighting game character. I do absolutely love this concept for a trailer, however I think they slightly fumbled the bag here. See, since we had 4 whole months building up between this trailer and the one we mentioned before, pretty much everyone agreed at this point that Min Min was by far the most logical choice, so everyone already went in expecting it to be her. That's why when the opening frames of the trailer are inside of a ramen shop, it's pretty much a spoiler at that point. It's basically direct confirmation that Min Min would be the character before she actually gets the invite. Terry isn't seen in his trailer until after he picks it up, and I think a similar thing should have been done here for Min Min. I do like the ramen scene with Falcon and Kirby as they're very fun, so maybe they could have just bunched them all together during the middle of the fight right before Min Min leaves to get the invite. The way it is now just made it to where the whole fight didn't really seem to have any weight to it. Aside from that though, the rest of the trailer is pretty solid. The ARMS Grand Prix remix is an absolute banger and works perfectly as a trailer song. The ARMS style of animation also looks way nicer than Three Houses, so it gives this trailer a little bit of extra uniqueness. And also, I sort of lied during Kazuya's section, Captain Falcon taking Min Min's place at the end is the funniest bit they've done for any of these trailers. So overall, the trailer was very solid, there were just a few things they could have changed to make it a bit better. Isabelle's was sort of a difficult one to place in this ranking. It starts in the world of Animal Crossing without us knowing that this would be a Smash reveal. Then it slowly transitions to Isabelle finally receiving the invitation. I also personally always like the camera swing from the default Animal Crossing perspective to the side view of her being shocked, it's just a really nice touch. The tour remix also fits Isabelle in this trailer as a whole perfectly.
What the dog do?
With all of that said, why isn't this higher? Well, for the most part, the trailer itself is fine. The beginning is a bit long, but other than that, it's fine. See, the real problem was, Isabelle was pretty much one of the most predictable characters to come to Smash Ultimate, so her announcement really wasn't a surprise. It wasn't super hype-inducing simply because pretty much everyone knew this was gonna happen. So for that reason, this is just a pretty good trailer, but nothing special. Now the reason I said this was hard to rank is because I wasn't sure if I should include the announcement of Animal Crossing New Horizons as part of this. This was after a long wait between Animal Crossing games, so seeing Tom Nook announce this was honestly much more hype than the Smash reveal itself. I decided against including that as part of the trailer, since Animal Crossing is its own separate thing, but that aspect did help this as a whole feel pretty satisfying. The next trailer was also the next one chronologically, being the announcement for Ken and Incineroar. I think combining these two together was perfect, they're both fighters with a strong emphasis on fire. I also think giving Ken his own trailer despite being an Echo makes sense. He's by far the most unique one of the bunch, and to be honest, he's only really called an Echo fighter because of his and Ryu's history. He's much closer to a Dr. Mario than a Lucina. Back to the trailer though, the animation of these two fighting in the ring alongside poor Little Mac was great. The pacing on this one was pretty perfect, and I liked how it kept cutting back to the fight during the trailer itself. One thing I didn't care for though was Incineroar screaming egg, I think?
So, you wanna fight fire with fire, huh?
It just really feels awkward for no reason. I would have changed that to be something a little bit more intimidating. Ken's Stage is obviously a perfect song for Ken and it meshes with the trailer perfectly. Same goes with the trainer battle theme from Sun and Moon. Aside from the weird egg thing, the only other downside for this trailer was really the characters themselves. Ken was also just as predictable as Isabelle with the whole Echo Fighter concept being introduced, so his reveal wasn't shocking to a single person. Incineroar was just simply not a popular pick. Heck, he wasn't even the most requested starter from his generation. Everyone knew there would be a new Pokemon, so the excitement and surprise wasn't really there. Still though, Incineroar is a fun character, and I am overall happy that he got in. The ending is once again pretty funny with all of the random characters they've given boxing gloves to over the years. And yes, these characters all use them in their moveset, which is just a nice touch. Terry's trailer has a bit of an interesting history behind it. First off, they originally didn't show him off with any gameplay, which was weird but certainly not a deal breaker. No, the big thing is that the SNK content was leaked by Nintendo themselves to be coming to Smash Ultimate. They had accidentally attached the SNK copyright to the website too early, meaning that everyone knew the character would be from there. The only thing is, no one knew exactly who it would be. That meant that the trailer was sort of perfectly fitting for the discussion at the time. I can't recall any trailer before this where characters were actively fighting over the invite, so this was certainly very fresh. It felt like truly anyone could get it. Sure, most people had a strong feeling it'd be Terry, but from what they knew, it could have been anyone. That's why I'm starting to think they leaked that on purpose. I mean, think about it. The only other trailer where multiple characters fight over the invite was for Min Min, and there they had announced early which franchise the character would be from. Not only that, but the leak got people actually talking and learning about SNK beforehand. Terry is easily the most obscure character added to Ultimate, so leaking out the company beforehand let everyone get familiar with who they were. This isn't definitive evidence that this was on purpose, but let's not rule that possibility out. Anyways, I also really liked how it was animated as it was in the style of the old Neo Geo. This gives this trailer a unique look once again, and while I do prefer CGI, I think it's important to mix it up every once in a while. Once again, the only real thing holding this back from being higher is that the character wasn't really a surprise at that point. Had this been before the leak, this could have just ended up being confusing though. Sorry Terry, you're just not that recognizable, buddy. Okay, I know people are going to be upset about this one being so high as the start of the high tier, but Piranha Plant's trailer is just way too funny. I mean, the only thing wrong with this is that it isn't CGI, but that almost doesn't even matter. First of all, we went into this trailer not even knowing if this was a character or something like an item. All we knew is that this would be a special pre-order bonus. Having the King Bowser theme play over the confused Mario characters as Mario himself slowly walks up to Plant just sets the tone perfectly. Then the abrupt cut into Piranha Plant just sitting there is hilarious. I really wish I had my reaction to this filmed, but seeing Piranha Plant suddenly do down tilt into F smash and realizing he was an actual character was probably the most shocked I had ever been for one of these trailers. Then the ground/underground theme kicks in and you see Piranha Plant do all these goofy moves as you just sit there in disbelief. From him having a spike to him reaching halfway across the stage, it all just built up to this being a perfect surprise character. This absolutely did its job of selling how weird of an inclusion Plant is, while at the same time making his inclusion super exciting. The lack of any animation to go with this is really the only problem, but again, I just don't really think that's much of an issue because it just being gameplay made you question if this was actually real and if he really was a fighter. For what it was trying to be, this is one that is very close to being perfect. Alright, we're gonna cover our next two trailers together. For one, they're modeled after each other, and two, this video is already long enough as is. The two trailers I'm talking about, of course, are King K. Rool's and Banjo's. These two were both heavily requested characters. I never played Banjo and Kazooie, so I'm much more of a K. Rool guy. K. Rool's was the first of the two. It starts with a montage of heroes versus their villains. This is perfect for K. Rool since he's basically the main Donkey Kong villain, despite not really appearing much at the time. It was very cool to see just how many characters had their heroes and villains represented, and all of the artwork here was very nice to see as well. This aspect doesn't really work well for Banjo. This was only included for him as it was meant to mirror K. Rool's trailer. I'm assuming the whole mirrored trailer thing was because they're both from Rare, so it made sense. Afterwards, both trailers had the silhouette of the fighter appear before revealing that they're not actually the character they appeared to be. This joke is okay, I mean no one fell for it, but it works. On repeated viewings though, I always skip over it, but it was nice the first time around. Banjo's trailer is much funnier to me because I just like to imagine K. Rool deciding to live with DK and Diddy against their will for no reason, and he just makes the reveal overall much funnier. Then we of course get our splash screen and jump right into gameplay. Banjo probably has my favorite splash screen. The pun with raring to go to be just like Rare is absolutely perfect. From there, I think K. Rool's trailer takes over in terms of quality. The Spiral Mountain remix is good for Banjo and a trailer, but come on, it's got nothing on Gameplay Galleon. I also always love the shot of K. Rool and Donkey Kong punching each other right as the music hits at the end. It's just such a good shot. Definitely my favorite bit from both of these trailers. So, which one do I think is better? Well, it's very close, but I'm going to be giving the edge to K. Rool. His was the first, so the whole theme fit him a bit better, and the music was better as well. Banjo's was funnier overall, but just slightly less hype for me personally. Both of these trailers are great though. The only reason they aren't higher is because the whole bait and switch bit makes the trailer sort of hard to rewatch. I personally would have rather the characters come out right away in some other fashion. Still though, these trailers were incredible. The first new third-party characters announced for the game are up with the reveal for Simon and Richter. I think my favorite bit about this trailer is just the atmosphere. Putting Luigi in the world of Castlevania was just too fitting. And also, I know it's a meme to say characters died in a trailer, but no, Luigi just actually died in this trailer. After he's been brutally murdered, we of course get to see Simon for the first time, and if I recall, this is the first time his really modern design has been used. I don't play Castlevania, but I'm pretty sure Simon used to look like this. Thank you, Smash Ultimate. Vampire Killer is also just a super hype song, so putting it as the trailer theme really pushed this further. If that all wasn't enough, we get the much better character Richter here as well, being the only other Echo besides Ken to get a CGI trailer. Divine Bloodlines is also just as much of a banger, if not even more so than Vampire Killer. This is also a small detail, but the ending X being replaced by their cross was just something fun that they didn't need to do, but it just added that extra bit of charm. The only thing I didn't really like about this trailer was the weird cut from Vampire Killer playing to Dracula. It was just too abrupt and makes the whole thing feel more disconnected. I'm sure it was hard to make it seem right and they just settled with this, but I would have liked a smoother transition. Either way, the setting and music for this trailer was absolutely top notch. Now, for my final choice of high tier before we get into the top 5, we have the first really big character focused trailer for Ultimate, the reveal for Ridley. This trailer was huge when it happened. Ridley was always a character people wanted, but he was one of the few that was pretty much directly said by Sakurai to be impossible. Seeing him revealed for the game as one of the first showed how Ultimate's characters were going to be something special, and for the most part, that pattern remained true all the way up until the very end. The trailer itself was so good at tone setting, like Simon and Richter's. Seeing Ridley slowly pick off characters until only Samus was left was just such a great build up, and that was absolutely paid off when the Versus Ridley theme kicked in for the trailer. That song is just the definition of hype. There aren't many choices that could have been better. His splash text also sticks out as being particularly great, as it's a reference to how he was always said to be too big to fit in Smash. It was just impossible not to be excited during this trailer, which goes for the rest of the countdown. The only reason this missed out on being on the top is because of the ending. The rest of the trailer is perfect, but I would have really liked if the trailer just ended on the final smash, since it definitely is a great shot to end on. Instead, they had this pointless extra bit of CGI of Samus jumping out of the wreckage. I really don't understand what the point of this was. It makes it seem like there's going to be more to the trailer, but there just wasn't. It just brought a somewhat awkward end to an otherwise perfect trailer. Yes, it's a tiny nitpick, but when most of the Ultimate trailers are great, it's those tiny things that separate a high tier from a top tier. Speaking of, it's time we finally look at this top tier, or in other words, my top 5. All of these trailers are near perfect, only having very minor flaws that are really just nitpicks. First, I think it's fitting to start with the first real DLC character, Joker. Let's get the flaw out of the way first. No gameplay was featured during this trailer. It was likely because he was still being developed since he didn't come out for another few months, but it would have been nice to see. Other than that, this trailer is perfect. If you weren't there when it happened, this trailer was done during the Game Awards. This was an absolutely perfect place to put this trailer, as it wasn't a Nintendo-focused direct. All we knew is that this would have been something big since the whole show glitched out before it happened, revealing Joker and the Phantom Thieves. You truly didn't know what this was going to be before the Smash logo came on screen. When that logo does come though, man what a rush of hype. This trailer really went to show the power behind that symbol. I don't really think anyone was expecting to see not only a Smash character, but Joker as that character. Like Ridley, Joker really set the tone for the DLC to expect the unexpected. This was also animated in the style of Persona 5, which really helped with making the reveal that it was Smash more shocking, but this art style is also really nice as well. I especially love how they showed a bunch of the Smash roster in the style, but in the form of clouds. It was just again another fun way to transition Joker to Smash. The music was also very good, but it's also pretty funny as the song, Life Will Change, isn't actually in Ultimate. Honestly though, it would have been very hard to mess up music choice for Persona since pretty much all of its tracks are bangers. This was an excellent start to the Fighters Passes and an excellent start to our top tier. Going straight from our first DLC character to our last, we see the trailer that inspired me to make this video, Sora. This was just a perfect ending to the greatest Smash Bros. Game of all time. I really like how even the opening is different just to show that this really is the end. It mirrors, of course, the first trailer for the game with the iconic shot of Inkling looking at the Smash Ball. Eventually though, it burns out, leaving only a single spark left over. We get to see so many characters in this trailer, easily the most out of any in the game, which makes sense because this is the end. Everyone gets put up in their trophy forms, which is some nice nostalgia to old Smash titles. That is until Mario himself wakes up. I know this is really silly, but as a huge fan of Mario as a character, seeing him have a prominent role in a trailer where he actually looks really cool was nice to see. Just the whole animation of Mario reaching into the fire and throwing away the Keyblade was excellent, and it might just be one of my favorite sequences from any of these trailers. We then see a shot that probably cost Nintendo more money than the Switch has sold, with of course the reveal of Sora. The thing is about this trailer, the music isn't anything crazy, but I don't think it needed to be. It feels sort of magical, which I not only think fits Sora perfectly, but the end to the largest crossover in gaming history. Seeing all the fighters be revived to see Sora flying around is just so perfect. This trailer definitely convinced me that Sora was the best choice to end Ultimate on. Sure, people may have wanted Waluigi, and I wanted Dry Bones for Smash 6, but Sora just captures the magic of Smash perfectly in this trailer. This probably has the best CG sequence out of any of them. It's hard to see anyone placing this outside of the top 5 best trailers. Even just seeing that ending shot of Mario, fighter number 1, shaking hands with fighter number 82 was the perfect full circle conclusion that we needed for this game. The only reason this isn't higher is because the gameplay segments feel a little bit less exciting than the others, and I also think the splash screen comes on a bit too late and doesn't have the exact impact I wanted. Like, Sora stands there for a good second, which is slightly awkward but not too bad. Other than that though, this was the perfect conclusion that Smash Ultimate needed. And now we've run into by far my favorite addition to Smash Ultimate, Steve from Minecraft. Obviously my personal hype was going to influence this placement, so I brought it down a bit to make up for that. Still, this trailer was incredible. The only thing I wasn't a fan of was how they only used gameplay at the start instead of CGI. I understand the decision, but it would have been nice if the opening for the trailer stuck with the animation. Once Mario breaks into the cave though, the trailer is perfect. What I love about this trailer is how they slowly drop more and more hints that this character is from Minecraft. Everyone figured out it was Steve at a different time, which I thought was really special. I figured it out the second Mario broke through the stone and the sound effect played. I mean, I might have played a bit too much Minecraft in my days, so all of the sounds are just burned into my brain. From there, Mario is dropped into darkness with all sorts of different mob sounds surrounding him. You hear bats, slimes, spiders, endermen, and of course the iconic zombie bruh. Each one of those would begin to set people off to know exactly who is about to burst through that wall. The eyes of the spider and enderman glowing in the dark fit perfectly with the spooky setting as well. Seeing Steve finally break through the stone wall was, for me, the conclusion to over 7 years of wanting Steve as my most wanted character. The pause after the fact to just let the shock set in makes sense to be in this trailer. Not only is he the biggest character to ever be added to this game, but many people didn't think he would even come in. Mario getting blown up by a creeper was a great way to throw in Minecraft's most iconic mob before the gameplay truly starts. We get a small overview of the stage looking directly ripped from the game as Holland/Darlana starts blasting. This is the best song they used in any of the trailers. It is the most upbeat and hyped choice to perfectly break the internet. Which it actually did. If you didn't know, this trailer actually caused Twitter to crash, which has only ever happened one time before this. Anyways, this is easily my favorite remix in the game and at minimum a top 5 song. It took 2 songs that I could care less about and made them absolutely perfect. Even though Holland is from Minecraft Dungeons instead of normal Minecraft, it still absolutely feels and sounds like it's from the original game, making it just the absolute perfect fit. Man, I've been rambling. Okay, let's speed this up a bit. Seeing Steve be animated in the classic Minecraft style made this trailer even better, as I was always scared they'd go for the Minecraft story mode look. It made Steve feel so unfitting, which is why this trailer worked so well. We then get the reveal for Alex as they show off more and more of their moves, as Holland just keeps making this trailer's hype go on. They then cut to Darlana playing in a perfect transition to the nighttime to introduce Zombie and Enderman. The music then picks back up to Holland afterwards to showcase the stage, and it ends on a hilariously perfect House of Boom final smash that always reminded me of the old Minecraft videos. I'm sure you could tell by just how long this segment is that I loved this trailer so much. I could even make a case for it being the best, but I decided to move it down just because of, again, character bias. I just can't help myself with all of these little references to Minecraft, like how you shouldn't look at the Enderman's eyes, how they can't stand in the rain, how Wolf kills a zombie and it drops rotten flesh. There's just so much. I'm sure the other trailers are like that as well, but Minecraft is really the only game I've played from the DLC, so I was actually able to notice these. Now before we end this segment, I need to go on a little mini rant here about one scene from the trailer. During the scene where Alex is introduced, Steve goes into a house to have them swap places. There aren't any houses you can actually enter in the Minecraft stage, so they created a house just for this trailer, but dear lord, this is the ugliest build I have ever seen. First off, why on earth is this window made out of spruce logs? Like, what's the point of even adding that in? Secondly, why is the other window just broken door halves? I mean, I don't understand why they didn't just use a glass pane. I mean, it's not like they aren't modeled, you can see them in the actual building in the background. Now that's the obvious stuff, but the by far weirdest choice is a bit harder to notice. If you actually look at the roof, you'll be able to see that it's made out of 2 completely different blocks. Oak planks make sense, so why did they just make half of it dirt? Like, surely it would have been easier to just continue using wood, right? Regardless, this is definitely the weirdest detail in any Smash trailer. Obviously not a bad thing, but it's just really weird as a Minecraft nerd.
Yeah.
Alright, our runner-up has got to be the amazing reveal for Sephiroth. Much like Steve, his trailer slowly lets you piece together who it is. Some might get it right as he kills Galeem, and others might get it once One Winged Angel starts to kick in. Also, what an entrance! Killing Galeem after he was fighting against so many other characters just made Sephiroth's entrance even more intimidating and exciting. One Winged Angel is also just such a perfect song for a dramatic reveal. The animated bits of him just destroying everyone in the Smash trailer with relative ease just makes his entrance all the scarier. Honestly, my only issue with this trailer is that I wish we got to see Sephiroth take out more characters other than just Bayo, Greninja, and Mario. He spends most of the trailer fighting Cloud, which is understandable, but we sort of miss out on that crossover action a little bit. It would have been nice to at least see him clash swords with Link or Marth. Still though, the dark animations and explosions just make this a near perfect trailer. I do find it a bit awkward how they ended it though. It goes out a little bit more quietly than I would have liked. I get they wanted to show off Cloud's new Final Smash, but I think cutting it so we would end on Sephiroth's full Final Smash would have been nice. Aside from that though, Sephiroth is kind of a hard character to not make hype. I've never played Final Fantasy and even I got pretty excited to see him join in. Had Steve not been added, he'd have a case for being the most popular character here. It was also nice to see a villain in the DLC, since villains are also much rarer since they usually get the protagonist as the first choice. Overall, I think I personally prefer Steve's trailer just due to Holland and who he was, but I'm going to place Sephiroth's higher because I know I have incredible bias and also the animated segments were really good here. But that means we only have one more trailer to go. The final trailer of this video is, funnily enough, the very first trailer for the game. I don't think this trailer even has a single flaw, like, I can't think of anything. This was of course the announcement that Inklings would be joining Smash, but not only that, it was the announcement that Smash Ultimate would even exist. Pairing these two things together was the single best thing they could have done. I talked about how Isabelle and Ken were some of the most predictable character choices earlier, but that's nothing compared to how obvious the Inklings were. They were a new franchise from Nintendo that became extremely popular during Smash 4 with an easy to visualize moveset. The Inklings were probably the most predictable characters ever added to Smash Bros, so that meant their announcement wouldn't be that shocking or amazing. Well, that would have been the case anyway, had their trailer not been tied to the game itself being announced. Pairing these two things together meant we got the groundbreaking announcement of the new game coming later that year and a new fighter to go with it. The start of the trailer mirrors one of Splatoon's trailers, of course until it fades to darkness. I talked before about the power of the Smash symbol in Joker's trailer, but this trailer right here is really what cemented what that symbol could mean. The Smash ball being reflected in Inkling's eye is the single most iconic shot from any Smash trailer. The best way I could describe this trailer as a whole is setting up Smash Ultimate as the grand crossover it really is. That's one thing I thought Smash was missing before this. It didn't feel as grand as it could have. None of the games before this one could really have called themselves the Ultimate One, but this trailer's tone just showed that Smash Bros is a big deal. The ominous rendition of the main theme over Mario and Link as the screen fades away truly shows what Smash Ultimate is. It's the biggest Smash game, and it can already be seen from this trailer alone, before we even knew everyone was coming back. Before we even knew characters like Steve, Ridley, or Banjo would be coming, this trailer told us that this game was going to be an event. That's why I undoubtedly believe that this first trailer, from its iconic imagery to its brilliant combination of a character and game reveal, was the best trailer for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But anyways, that's it for this incredibly long video. Are you all mad at me that I didn't include the Sans trailer in this? Let me know in the comments. Smash Ultimate has been an absolute roller coaster from start to end, and while I'm sad it's coming to an end, I'm happy I was here to experience all the character reveals as they happened. I don't know if we'll get another game that had the impact Ultimate did. We'll obviously get more Smash games in the future, it just makes too much money, but even trying to challenge Ultimate seems sort of impossible. I'm looking forward to Sora's release and I hope you all are as well. If you enjoyed this video, then a like would be appreciated as this was definitely a huge project. But anyways, dry bones for Smash, and I'll see you guys next time.